ride along with me while I go back 2 years and share some great wisdom and knowledge on y'all, and in turn you get to know me better. And for those of you who don't know me, during quarantine I went through a great hair transformation. I found a church on Saturday nights by me. I was a member of the Presbyterian church that I loved. First few nights I went on a Saturday night, and maybe the second time they stopped having Saturday night service, which was fine. So I went to Sunday. I loved the pastor. He was new. He's young. I just loved him, and he really spoke from the Word, and I loved that. And so I got involved, and I became a member, and I worked in the nursery so that I could get to know the young families, and I was a greeter so I could get to meet everybody. And what else did I do? I did women's Bible study. And the thing that I found, it's very hard to go to church, I feel, because I was single up until I was 50 years old. I married for the first time when I was 50. I'll include a picture up there. I just had a wonderful life and was engaged a couple times, and it didn't work out. So anyway, I just know from experience, from a person that's been single for many years, it's hard to go to a church and feel like you're part of the church, feel welcome. So even though I got myself involved in all those things, I noticed on Sundays that people really didn't try to sit with me or welcome me, come sit over here or whatever. I tried to sit with different people. I looked for people to sit with, widows, moms with little ones that maybe needed an extra helping hand, and things like that. So I just kind of felt, even though I went there for years, I just felt kind of lonely going there. The women's Bible study, I didn't feel was really that authentic. It was Bible study, and nobody talked much about their personal life, or let's just say any problems in their personal life. And I'm not going there to be a voyeur of people's problems. I just know that I feel the churches should be doing a better job of dealing with issues of divorce and addiction and molestation and being for single moms and all these things that are going on in our porn, all these things that are going on in our culture today, and they're not talked about in church. And I feel the only way that we can be a help to others, and I really feel that God wants this to be a part of our testimony, is that we share our testimony. We share how Christ has helped and lifted us up during the hard times, during our suffering. And when nobody talks about that, I just find that very odd. So anyway, that was hard. So now let me think here. I love Rainwood. Yeah. Almost. It's such a new church. It's kind of going in the same direction as my old church. I'm like, Anyway, so when I started taking care of my mother, I could go, and then it started getting worse where she got a little worse, a little more dependent on me, and she sleeps in, and it's hard to wake her up. It's like having a teenager, and she just can't get up early, and so all my appointments are scheduled in the afternoon, etc. So I can't leave her in bed and go to church like I used to. And she could, if she ends up getting up, she could get her own coffee. She can't do that anymore. She doesn't know how to do it. She gets confused. So I think, of course, the dementia has gotten a little worse each year. And now it's too frustrating. I don't want to frustrate her. So I don't go to church on Sundays. Haven't been to church in a year. And I really miss it. Now, my fault that I haven't gone really searching hard for a church on Saturday nights. You know, once you kind of get away from a good habit, it's hard. It's like exercise. It's like anything else. But I still need that community. I love doing my meditation, my Bible readings, but you still don't get the same. You need it all. And I don't feel that you have to go to a church to love God, to love Christ, but I find it important to commune with one another, especially as you get older. I'm 67, and I didn't have children, and so that's where you get your support usually. I didn't feel like I had it at the other church, really. One person kept in contact with me. So I really feel that's why you go to church, is so that you can have communion, you have friends, you lift each other up, you care about each other, and through small groups you learn of others' problems or needs. You learn of their needs. So if there's a funeral that needs to happen, you help. If a baby's born, you send food, things like that. So, long story short, I went one time to this church, Grace Community Church in Sarasota, and they have 2 services on Saturday night, and I think 3 on Sunday. Amazing. So I enjoyed it, and I got to have communion, and that means everything to me, to have communion. I love it. I was a Catholic a long, long time ago, and I adored that you could take communion every Sunday, because to me, that is such a closeness with Christ that I feel when I have communion. And I don't know, I just feel better, I feel closer, and I feel all together again. So that's where I'm headed. I have a girlfriend that lives like down the street from it, and she goes to church with me to my other church. She would go on occasion, loved it. So now she's enjoying going on Saturday. She's also looking after her mother, who she just had surgery. She had a total shoulder replacement, and she's in rehab right now. She had a total shoulder replacement of the other shoulder like a year ago and did really well, but I think this one is taking her down a little more. So she's going to go visit her mom in rehab, take her dinner, and then she's going to meet me at church. So I'm looking forward to it. And I made some chicken noodle soup. I think I told you guys that in another one. Lettie's Life, I made that. It turned out great. So the gal upstairs for me, I live in a condo, but they're 2 stories. She had knee surgery. She's about 50, and she's struggling. And so I sent her some chicken noodle soup and one of those baguette breads from the bakery and a card. So I'm glad it worked out. I met her and took her the food, and she said I had no idea what I wanted to eat tonight, and this sounds good. So hopefully that'll make her feel better. So that's about my day. I went home and took a nap, and I rushed. I got up quickly and called her to see if I could take the soup, and as I was looking at my face in the mirror, kind of like to fix up a little bit because I had taken a nap. Mascara was all down here, like boogers of mascara. She must have thought, wow, what bus hit her in the face? I don't know. But anyways, it's a beautiful day. It's rained off and on. The temperature is 101. No, that's 101 miles. Oh my goodness. It's 90. So it's hot, but it's expected, but it's pretty. It's so nice to see the sun, because truly we've had almost 2 weeks of rain. It's the rainy season, but we are spoiled in Florida, and I'll tell you, after a couple of weeks of rain, everybody's going a little cuckoo. So also on the medical front, I guess because of my age, I'm starting to hear all these different things happening to people. But my other friend, she went to the dermatologist and she had a suspicious mole on her breast, and they said that was nothing to worry about, and they froze it off. But they saw another spot on the back of her knee, and they did a scraping and sent it in, and it's melanoma. Now this was interesting because both her children have had melanoma, one on the ear, one on his back, and nothing, and they had the melanoma taken off and that was it. But they are automatically, because it's a limb, L-I-M-B, on the back of her knee, I guess sometimes they have to go very deep with melanomas. They send her to a limb physician, a physician that works with limbs and cancer. So kind of scary. That would scare me a lot. So she's going to the Moffitt Center in Tampa on Monday for a consultation. But I'm praying all that works out for her. It's a pretty scary situation. She's gone through a lot in the last few weeks. She has been going through a difficult divorce for the last year or more. And then last month she had a beautiful car, Mercedes convertible, and it was one of those things where she parked in front of Petco, had rapid acceleration, and she went through the front of the store, totaled her car, and then she was lucky she didn't kill someone or kill herself. She had her little dog on her lap, and he flew down underneath her feet, and thank God her dog is okay, and she broke a few metatarsals in her foot, probably from trying to step on the brake to stop the car, which the brakes weren't working, obviously. But the difficult thing mentally for that to happen to someone, I feel, is that they even had the black box in the Mercedes evaluated. That was a $1,000 cost to her to have it evaluated, because she was absolutely certain that she did not step. She was going really slow, and somebody had a Tesla where they always have a camera in the car, and the witness gave it to the police officer, and it showed her pulling in like 2 miles an hour, pulling into park, and all of a sudden that car just went like that. But anyway, it would be difficult for you to know you didn't do that, and yet they've had callbacks when the car has problems. And so it's been going on for years where almost every make has had this kind of problem. But it's very hard to prove it, because all it said was rapid acceleration. Well, yeah, and it means, the brakes weren't working, and it was a default. But you can't, so what am I going to do? So that was sad, and so she was laid up for a month or more with a big foot cast, and she couldn't drive, and she didn't have a car. So now she's kind of back to that. She was a dancer, so she can't do any of that, a tango dancer. So now, and now she's faced with this. So those are struggles, and I don't know why we sometimes get them in rapid succession, but maybe this is the third one, and the third one's it for her. Let's hope. But it's pretty hard. It's hard to stay positive. And truthfully, I don't know how people make it without faith. If they just believe there's nothing, I don't know. Like I've always said, I am a strong believer, because I've had too many issues in my life where Christ has saved my life. It has saved my life, and has done some pretty miraculous things in my life, and at one time I will share that. But to have no belief, I just can't imagine it. But I always say this to people: if I'm right, well, that's cool. I've been on the right road. If I'm wrong, I've still been on the right road. And I don't have any regrets. But if I'm right, and you're a non-believer and you're wrong, well, whoa. I don't mind when people have their own opinions, and I honor and value all different religions and beliefs, whatever makes you happy. But I will always share with you my testimony, because I do believe in the word of the Bible and that Christ is the only way to eternal life. But the thing that I find difficult, or even mind-numbing, is when people have never picked up the Bible to read it and will still fight you on their God isn't a God of the Bible. It's all hearsay, and it's all, I don't know how you could even want to talk about it if you've never picked up the Bible and haven't read it. Okay, I've been stuck here at this light for far too long, so I'm gonna let you go. That's enough rambling on. Sorry I'm preaching. I'm going to close the video for today. Remember, be good to yourself, be good to others, and God will bless your efforts. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time.